Jerry Colangelo took over, brought in Mike Krzyzewski as coach. They've gone 51-1 since.
Right. It sounds trite when you say changing the culture, but it's exactly what he did. He made it important for NBA players to want to play in events like the Olympics and the World Championships. He made it cool again to want to represent Team USA, and it's worked out to near perfection.
Off the lob and a nice conversion by Luol Deng off the feed. And now we finally get a look at number 14 in the USA jersey, Anthony Davis, the Collegiate Player of the Year out of the University of Kentucky, seeing his first minutes in a game.
Also notice former Illini Robert Archibald on the floor for Great Britain.
And there's another former Illini, Darren Williams, knocking down the long-range jumper. He has 5. Clark's jumper is good from downtown.
Daniel Clark, a young big man you mentioned. He's one of the 2 guys on the roster that did not play college basketball, signed a professional contract, and has been playing in the prime of his career in the Spanish ACB League.
That's going to be an offensive foul against the United States. Fouls against Andre Iguodala, his first personal foul. They say that FIBA basketball is a little bit more physical, Fran. Here's evidence, I guess.
Oh, perfect example. We saw the other night in that Brazil-USA game, it was turning into a wrestling match. Some sharp elbows that night.
It's a quality sumo. 14-point advantage for the United States. Adegboye bringing it up court against Darren Williams.
This young man that played his basketball at St. Bonaventure.
Lu Deng forces one up, but draws the foul from Anthony Davis. Actually, they can call it against James Harden now. They're both in the neighborhood.
You know, Mike Krzyzewski, very familiar with Lu Deng. Recruited him out of Blair Academy. Very fond of this guy, who's averaged about 16 points a game in his NBA career. In fact, he made his first All-Star game this year, Mark.
He was able to avoid most of the regular injuries that he'd experienced during the previous seasons and stay healthy, albeit for a thumb injury for parts of the year. But Lu Deng has really been a cornerstone of building this Great Britain basketball program to the point where it is right now.
Well, you make that great point, because at some point towards the end of the season for the Bulls, there were people that thought he might want to shut his season down because of the thumb and the wrist. And he elected not only to finish the season, but he's also told the Chicago Bulls he was going to play in the Olympics. And Coach Tom Thibodeau, I think, felt it was good for Lou to do that. Very important to him.
Been a point of contention of late as to whether professionals and what age of those pros should be playing in the Olympic Games. There's a 23 and under proposal being considered right now. That's going to be a foul on the long-range jumper by Harden, with 2 quick fouls now by him. Well, back to Lu Deng. You know, his journey personally, even more so than professionally, is a real compelling and even inspiring one. Born in what is now the country of South Sudan, fled to Egypt and later to the United Kingdom. Calls Great Britain home, recently getting his immigration papers, his citizenship papers, attending Blair Academy in New Jersey, former All-American. Really a citizen of the world, he likes to think of himself. It really is.
I would think so. You know, he was a McDonald's All-American in 2003, and his teammate at Blair Academy, Charlie Villanueva, was as well. In fact, Blair has 3 guys in the NBA right now with Royale Ivy.
Deng makes the free throw. Great Britain down by only 11 points at this point.
You see Chris Finch, a native of Reading, Pennsylvania. You mentioned he played at Franklin and Marshall for very successful Division III coach Glenn Robinson. Had a terrific career. And, you know, he's a journeyman coach, Mark. He played in Britain. Then he coached there. He somehow hooked up with the D-League. Won a championship with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. I know you follow the Vipers. And
I got all the gear.
Yeah. Terrell Harris of the Miami Heat.
Former member of that team.
Yeah, came up the hard way.
Paul McKeskey, a lot of NBA people might recognize that name. He's a member of that coaching staff for Great Britain as well now. And LeBron James back in the ball game. 9-point contest. And that's going to be a foul out top against Joel Freeland. Pardon me.
Archibald.
Archibald.
Yeah.
Heard somebody say, watch that elbow.
Archibald played for 4 NBA teams after finishing his career for Lon Kruger at Illinois.
On the switch, Archibald guarding Williams. What a dime by Darren Williams. Durant couldn't finish at the rim. Back comes Britton. And the 3-ball way short. LeBron in transition. LeBron gets that full head of steam going. It can be trouble.